Good evening from Investsharp.com. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, November the 8th market update. So, that's pretty much the same story here in the market. The dollar, gold, silver, and oil were all up today together. Sometimes that does happen. The dollar can go up, and some of the commodities will go up with it. So, copper was mostly flat on the day, but held up well. See, light sweet crude futures were up 21 cents to settle at $87.06 a barrel. So look at the dollar via the UUP, the ETF here. So here's these maroon lines are the weekly chart. So we're still holding up within this weekly on the dollar. Still holding this maroon line. It's 2008, 2009. So we're still holding above it. We're still within this. We're still in a channel down, but we've been holding this bounce with no volume. There's no one buying it. There was selling here, but no one's buying it. But still holding up all right. Go take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart, continuous contract. So we have a new bullish price objective now of $102 a barrel, and that's calculated by the point figure chart. I don't calculate it, so that's what it comes up with based on the pattern. But we're right in here, looking good. Oil still hanging in there. Let's go over and take a look. The Dow. So Dow was down a whole 37 points, down 0.33%, 11,406. Holding up really well, just like the S&P. Same thing here. It's just kind of the same story. Holding up well. Let's go a little further out here. So they're just the market's trying to hold this 1,220 since it broke above it here on the S&P. Then the Nasdaq actually had the larger percent gain today, a whole dollar. So whole point, so up 0.04%. But again, it was holding up well. And actually, the Dow that we looked at was the weakest today, being down 0.33%. But still pretty good day. So volume was like really anemic. It was really bad. The volume across like the diamonds, the Qs, and IWM was about 40% below average daily volume. So not a lot of interest in the market today. Definitely a resting day for the market. So let's take a look at gold. Same thing here. Of course, just flying higher. Still looking good. Silver, same thing here. Copper was just a little bit of resting today. Not much going on. Just a little tiny candle. Would go nowhere. Like I said, mostly flat. Still looks fine. The Euro ETF FXE pulled back. It's from up here to down here. It's a little ways. It kind of broke through that. Could have been support here, but it's not using support. It's been using this trend line of support real well. Holding the 30. No selling behind it though. As far as volume goes, the VIX volatility index. It was up the whole 3 cents, not up much. So still holding this support so far around this $18. So let's see. Let's look at XHB still holding up well. Some of the home builders are starting to break out, so you might want to check those out. XLF, after it broke out last week, so some of the banks and stuff are still holding up pretty well too. Some of them were down a little bit today, but they're still looking pretty good overall. Let's go look at the McClellan oscillator, and this is the NYSE McClellan. If it comes up, there we go. So still pretty neutral here. We're not overbought, we're not oversold, so we're still pretty neutral at 21.61. Let's take a look at the sectors. 5 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The gold index, which are the miners, had the large percent gain, up 1.91%. The insurance index was the weakest, down 1.26%. Now over to Chart Watch. Some of these we've looked at before. I always try to find a few new ones. So Nucor is looking real good. They're hanging tough today. It's had a lot of buying last Thursday and Friday last week. Looks like it's about ready to break out. So keep an eye on Nucor. CF holding up really well. And this is a weekly that we've been looking on. It broke out of the weekly here. Had some resistance on the weekly here around the 120 or so. Holding up real well in that area. It looks like it's had lots of buying Friday, pulled back, but it's holding up really well. So it looks like it's probably going to take off higher. Monsanto, another one's holding up really well, looking good. Should have support somewhere around 60, but looking, it's going to have some overhead various levels of resistance up here, probably 65 and some other 70, but overall though it's still looking good. Newmont breaking out above the downtrend line today, looking good. Like to see more volume, but volume wasn't too bad because there wasn't a lot of volume in the market. Sohu, lots of China stocks, big moves. Sienna, NetEase, a lot of breakout. Jobs, a lot of movement on China. Baidu is still resting here, but looks good. I'm breakout is probably imminent here soon. Netflix, another one. I still like it. Still consolidating and resting, but watch for the next move. Rig breaking out higher here. Finally it's been kind of little doji string here. Finally got a break higher, looking good. Along with DO. DO is another one that may have a little resistance here when it touches this trend line, but lots of volume behind it. Another driller that looks good. MELI, I like this Mercado Libre. Actually had a big 6% move today, but I like to buy things over these downtrend lines. So watch it to break out above the 30-day moving average here and take that out. And I don't know if it'll rest before it does it. It may take it out tomorrow. No, ANR breaking out. Guess. So Guess is I guess I'll have to go a little further here. So like Guess how it kind of got a little angled to a cup and handle thing over here. I like it over this 42.50. Take out the downtrend line, but it's looking pretty good. It's got some volume coming back in. CNX breaking out today, peaked out above the weekly as well. So you've got a nice longer term been building in this triangle. So it looks like CNX is getting ready to take that out. Kind of right at it today. It's got volume coming back in. Did a little selling here on the earnings, but looks like it's ready to go higher again. GNK, oops. Genco Shipping breaking higher today out of this little rising wedge it's been in. Big breakout for AIXG today. Looks good. VMware looks like it's about ready to break higher today. A little bit of volume come back in, so I like it over today's high with a little volume behind it. Cree breaking out above the downtrend line right here today. Not much volume, but again, there wasn't a lot of volume in the market today, so it's, still credible. Breakout. AXL breaking higher. American Axle. See here, had a been touching here, rejected, broke higher. There's a lot of volume here, so I expect it's probably going to work its way back up to the $12 mark. ANSS, big breakout here. I really like how this one, this thing's been under here. It's been resistance. Finally popped to it today. It also broke out on the weekly, so it's touched here, and broke out above the downtrend line on the weekly. That dates back to 2008. So I like that one. RRC breaking out today above the resistance level. ExxonMobil, it's another one I like on the weekly. We've been in this one this is one of our longer term investments here that we bought. And so I like that it broke out above the downtrend line on the weekly here. Big breakout for it. It's going to have some resistance on the way up, but I like it more for longer term. And I think the XTO Energy eventually will be a good thing for it. I know it's been dogged about they pay too much for it and stuff. But China Automotive, another one I like. Breaking out here above the gotta go a little further here above this downtrend line, so I like it too. Looks like it's going to resume its uptrend here possibly. Rove, talked about it on the weekly. This one's just holding up well, still looks fine. And Amazon, and Amazon looks like it's about ready to break out, so watch that one too. Of course, look at the current market signals. There's no change here on the current market signals, so we follow the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, all on buys. Here's price objective, no changes there. On the deck for tomorrow, we're going to have like Redbook, Goldman Store sales, stuff I really don't pay that much attention to, so I'm not too worried about economic data tomorrow. And so that is it for today. Thanks for watching.